Hello there, people of the internet. Today we're going to do something a little bit wrong, but it's going to be deliberately wrong. For fun. And we're going to do it with the Drakgoon, the Kuva Drakgoon to be more specific. This is a shrapnel launcher or Flak Kanon thingamabob that you can get by vanquishing a Kuva lich that's wielding it. It does primarily slash damage and it uses a charged base trigger mechanism, so it kind of works like a bow. It sports, depending on the charge, between 19 to 21% crit chance, 2.1 to 2.5 times crit multiplier, and a 9% status chance per projectile with a base multi-shot of 10. Now, charging the Drakgoon also affects the spread of the shrapnel. Uncharged shot sprayed the shrapnel all over the place, whereas fully charged shot fired in a nice tightly packed group. Generally, you want to charge it all the way because you get double damage, more crit chance, more crit damage, and you get better spread or tighter spread. But that's not going to be the case today, because today we're going to build it for quick shots. So let's get right to it, shall we? Nowadays, a code-based or even a toxin-based Drakgoon would be better, but I have a heat-based one and it doesn't add that much. It's just gonna limit us a little bit in terms of the elemental types that we can run here. Let's get an adapter. Oh, lag. Galvanized Hell for multi-shot. Savvy, which I'm fairly sure is multiplicative with the... Hello? What the hell is going on with the modding page? Let's also not forget about Fomorian Accelerant. This is basically Fatal Acceleration, but it also makes the shrapnel bounce. I really want to run Vendetta. The issue here that we might run into is that you need to kill stuff that's within 5 meters of you to trigger it. And that might not be reliable enough with the Drakgoon. If it keeps falling off, we can run something else. We need to get Prime Point Blank to get some base damage in here. And I'm not entirely sure if I want to run Crit or not. We could go Viral and Heat. Let's move that over there. Something like this? Maybe? Let's give it a try. Let's bump it down a little bit. This is going to be a bit of a struggle because you're supposed to charge it all the way, which we don't want to do, but the damage seems solid enough so far. What about a fully charged shot for the beefy guys? Okay, that's better. So I'm guessing Galvanized Savvy is multiplicative, so like a priming pet's gonna help a lot here. Let's get Harold. Let's actually swap him over to Corrosive and Heat instead of Viral, because we already proc Viral with the Drakgoon. Let's bump it back up. Oh, here it comes. First, you need to get Vendetta. And then... Okay. I dig it. That's actually quite good. This is basically the worst case scenario as well, because this is a big open room, so we get no damage from the bouncing shrapnel. It just bounces away and that's it. I want to see what this can do. Let's slap in Avenger. This isn't going to be that big of a difference because we only get 60-70% crit chance with a 2.1 crit multi. We could make this even better with a Kavat, or actually no. No. Savvy is multiplicative, so a Moa would be better. I am really not sure about Elementalist here. I think more upfront damage would be better. Or we could run Seeking Fury, because with an uncharged shot, Fomorian Accelerant bounces the shrapnel back into my face. With this though, it might fly through the first enemy and then start bouncing behind them. Yeah, this is kind of doing what I thought it would, or what I wanted it to do, though still every now and then it will bounce back into my face. It's a bit weird. I am not loving this. It takes a little bit too many shots to take down even the smallest guys. Maybe we should just go full crit. This is very mediocre. Even for me, that's just not enough damage. Yeah, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. Let's put more of a focus on slash. Time for crit, deceleration, and ravage. Yep, this is feeling considerably better, but not really because we're focusing more on slash, but because we added a bunch of crit. The more I play with this, the more I think just a straight up a raw crit setup with no status outside of Savvy for Condition Overload is gonna be the way to go. We could do Grumpy for Cat's Eye, but I think a Moa is gonna be better, so let's go with Bigus Nichus. Normally I would go with a crit Kavat because, well, Cat's Eye is good, but Nichus is better for priming, and since Galvanized Shot or Savvy is multiplicative, we're gonna go with that. Ooh, now look at that. Ooh, even some red crits. Spicy stuff, my dudes and dudettes. This is pretty good, but I don't know. I still think we need to go with a big boy crit build, because this status stuff is nice and all, but nah. And I can already see the comments, just charge it all the way, you can do that. If I wanted to do that, I would just use a bow, okay? So, let's get this out of here. And we're gonna need a Forma. 1D right there. In you go, buddy boy. For now, let's just run this and go max it out. There we go. That should be enough. Yep. Rank 40. Lovely. A big damage. Yes. If this doesn't work, I don't know what else to do. We're gonna have to use a different frame at that point. Mind you, this is not the smartest setup to run on the Drakgoon. The best way of building this probably would be to have like a cold or a toxin based one, so you will need one dual stat to get vital, and then you can run just like a vital slash build with hunter munitions on top. Yeah, now the damage is awesome. Look at that. We're actually like one-shotting stuff very reliably. This is well good. You could definitely make this spicier, like you could run it on my Silver God setup, or Harrow, or Frost for just more crit, or you could run a Riven, which I do have as well, but I don't like to use Rivens for these kinds of builds. Oh, would you look at that? Now that is some damage. Lovely. That was tremendous. Yeah, I think this is as good as it's gonna get without running a different frame. So, here's my silly little build for the Kuva Drakgoon. We have Galvanized Health for multi-shot, Primed Point Blank for base damage, Critical Deceleration and Primed Ravage for crit, Primed Chilling Grasp for a ton of cold, Contagious Spread and Primed Charged Shell for corrosive, and then Galvanized Savvy for status chance and condition overload. We're also running for more Accelerant in the Exiles for fast bouncing shrapnel, and for the Arcane we're running Shotgun Vendetta for a ton of extra multi-shot as well as reload speed. However, to make this work and feel good in Steel Path, you're gonna have to help it out a little bit. I was using Arcane Avenger as well as my Moab Bigus Nikos for priming as well as some extra crit from the Vigilante set bonus. You don't necessarily have to use these things, but it helps quite a bit. This is a very silly setup for a silly man, that silly man being me. I just wanted to have a Flak cannon setup. Ever since I picked up the Drakgoon, I've always wanted to make it work with an uncharged shot where you just spray the shrapnel around instead of having to charge it all the way every time. And this is my best attempt to do just that so far. But let's be honest here, it's not a particularly strong build, it's not even the best build you could run on the Drakgoon, so I can't really recommend it unless this is the kind of setup that you want. So don't do this unless you think you would have fun with it, okay? And as always guys, I thank you very much for watching and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for this series, no matter how silly they are, usually the sillier the better, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And finally, I would also like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your support, it means a lot to me. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.